had it bandaged, went back in, came back out, no bandage, but it's a no-go for Nick Dacos tonight.
Not surprised because he just looked terrible.
54-point win here for the Brisbane Lions. 17-17, 119, defeating Collingwood 10-5, 65.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I give up. Well played, guys.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking I don't want to do this round 4 review, but here we are. It's the Gabba Collingwood Massacre, as I've dubbed it with the title of this video. Couldn't think of anything else. The Great Gabba Massacre. The Gabbatoire of pain. It was a shellacking. We got our ass whooped. Round 4 review, Collingwood going down by 54 points to Brisbane Thursday night at the Gabbatoire. Collingwood 10-5, 65. Brisbane 17-17, 119. 54-point loss. And let's be honest, this result, the margin, the scoreboard, it flatters Collingwood. Oh man, this had potential to be 90 plus points, 100 points to be exact. We haven't lost by 100 points since 2005, and that was at the Adelaide, or Amy Stadium in Adelaide. So yeah, it had that potential, and it all stems from not just Darcy Moore and Scott Pendlebury being out, but Nick Dacos being a late out. Not a late out is where we are about to run through the banner, and he's not there, but he was confirmed about 30 minutes before the game started. A laid out is an hour before the game. So Nick Dacos got a free flight up to Brisbane, VIP tickets from what it looked like, and yeah, he had perfect viewing of this arse whooping. And there's no one to blame for this, really. We are all at fault. It's my fault. It's your fault. It's everyone's fault. Let's be honest. Brisbane, they're the reigning, defending, undisputed, 2-time premiers right now. So we knew what we were getting into. Brisbane's midfield I don't know what to say. It's class. It's elite. It's on track for a 3rd premiership. But I'm not going to be overreacting to these sort of losses, and it's Friday morning, so I'm not going to be over the top or anything like that. I wrote the stats down. Oh my God, the stats. You'll see the stats a little bit later on. I post on Instagram. Do yourselves a favor and don't check the stats, but you're here for the stats. You're here for the analytics, but to be honest, there's not a lot to be thorough about. We got our arse whooped. I'll bring up the stats a little bit later. There's no one to blame for this. There's a lot of players in the firing line. Absolutely a lot of players in the firing line. Very little to no positives from the player performances. The only positives I can think of was me joining Pies Footy fan cams last night and speaking to Mick as well on his live stream, staying on past midnight, and that was about it. I am going to take away some homework from this game. I'm going to look at every single centre clearance. Who was involved? Who is responsible for that? Because that's the head of the table sort of stuff right there. Just who was not accountable in the midfield. I can talk about Brisbane switching and chipping it around and finding the loose man at the back. They got at the back far too many times. Free space, free real estate in the forward 50, and they got goals from that. Their set shot conversions in the second half, particularly that third quarter, is the reason why we didn't lose this game by a whole lot more. And this might be an overreaction from me, and I said this on Mick's stream last night, that this sort of loss reminds me of 2013, where I realised that while we're seeing the best of the best, we are going to be a couple of steps below the best. And I think this sort of loss against Brisbane proved that to me. And I did say in the preview video, can we get out of wildcard purgatory? But no, we're going to be there to stay, unfortunately. And that's at best at this rate. There are going to be other games this round. We could fall out of the top 10 by the end of this round before we take on Freo in gather round. Just the timing as well of these injuries. We've got the healthiest list in the competition, but Darcy Moore being out, it exploits our back line, and we've got Fremantle. They're a 3-headed monster as well. So, come on, man. Cut us some slack. We've got Carlton and Essendon after that, but they're no guarantees. They're Carlton and Essendon. Big 4 clubs. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting next few weeks. The month of April could define our season. Premierships aren't won in April, but they can be lost. And based off that performance, it's going to likely be the case. But it's a long season. We'll get through it. We'll do our best to get through this review and just what came about this sort of loss. But I'm giving you a warning. I'm about to post the team stats in 3, 2, 1. So here are the team stats from this game. My goodness. minus 115 in disposals. I think the kicks, 291 to 162 is the biggest differential in VFL AFL history. That's what I've seen apparently. Handballs, 148 to 134. So for Collingwood, 162 kicks, 148 handballs. So basically a 50-50 ratio there. And Brisbane had a 2-to-1 ratio in terms of kicks and handballs. And they were far more efficient as well, more lethal with the ball in hand. They were chipping it around, switching it around, used a corridor when they needed to, and we were just trying to make things happen. Nilly-willy, to be honest. Our goals were pretty tough to come by. Hard work sort of stuff, hard yakka, which is the Collingwood way, but we're not winning on the scoreboard. We're not kicking a big score to win games. We're not blowing teams out of the park or anything like that. Just, yeah. Contested possessions, this is shocking. Minus 39. It was minus 28 by half time. Surely this is addressed to the team. Like, there's 23 players on the field and you're minus 28 at half time. Like, so your direct opponent is beating you and being first to the footy. They want it more. Surely this is talked about. Surely as a man, not even as a player, as a man, like you look your direct opponent in the face and say, I'm going to get the better of you. Yeah, clearances minus 18. It's stock standard. It's Brisbane's midfield, but that's no excuse. Our midfield was second rate for the entire night. It was fourth rate in the fourth quarter. No pun intended or ironic statement there. Centre clearances minus 7. Stoppage clearances minus 11. Again, I'm going to do some takeaway homework. I am going to look at every single centre ball up, centre bounce, centre clearance, whatever you want to call it. Maybe the stoppages as well, because, yeah, Darcy Cameron, Oscar Steen, the ruck battle goes Brisbane's way, but I'm going to be looking at the midfield, who was in the ruck as well. So Oscar Steen, second game, I get it. He's a youngster, but he's not going to be spared from this sort of performance. Marks, minus 79. Fourth quarter, 10 to 50, so minus 40. So that was just taking the piss. Yeah, Brisbane, they weren't just being Harlem Globetrotters. They were just taking the piss in the final quarter. Minus 15 in marks inside 50, 5 to 20. They took 9 marks inside 50 in that final quarter. I'm pretty sure they took like 5 marks inside 50 in like 10 minutes, in a 10-minute span in that final quarter. And we took 5 marks inside 50 for the entire game. So have a good hard look at yourselves, everyone. Inside 50s, minus 19, minus 21.4% in terms of efficiency inside 50. And that's bloated in that final quarter for Brisbane. But the first quarter was what set it up for Brisbane. They kicked 6 goals, 4 from 13 inside 50s. And goal efficiency 22% to 26%. You need to be in that 25 to 30% range to be in the premiership hunt, the premiership window, flag contention, finals as well. And we're just 22%. We are just mid. Everything at Collingwood is mid, and that's being generous. That is being very generous right now. Final quarter stats, minus 52 in disposals, minus 40 in marks, minus 12 inside 50s, minus 8 for marks inside 50. We lost a tackles inside 50 count as well, 5 to 6, and Brisbane they had 4 tackles inside 50 in that final quarter. So stat padding, they win that stat. The only stat we won was the tackles, plus 13, 46 tackles though. Does that matter? Like 46 tackles, that's 11.5 tackles a quarter. So the pressure wasn't there. We didn't turn the chicken up. We got a free flight up to Brisbane, and they should be able to walk home. Fuel prices and everything, they can walk home after that. But yeah, what more can you say, to be honest? The only positives I can think of from player performances was Dan Houston, Braden Maynard, Josh Dacos, and Dan McStay. But there's caveats to that as well. Dan Houston, 32 disposals, took the kickouts. Compare his game to Dane Zorko, it's night and day. Dane Zorko, far more effective, lethal, made things happen across half-back, used the corridor. And Dan Houston, 32 disposals, just couldn't make things happen, unfortunately. There was that final quarter kick inside 50, and I'm being generous when I describe that, where he could have had a shot from 55 out. He goes to the forward flank, 10, 15 metres away, and he couldn't find a target. That's just symbolic of our performance. Josh Dacos, 25 disposals from 75% game time. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Is he banged up? Is he bruised? And why was he playing across half back when Dan Houston was there? Just play him in the midfield. There's no Nick Dacos. Just put Josh Dacos there. If he gets tagged, so be it. Like, get involved. Get your hands dirty. And everyone as well, and I'm going to say this now, it's one thing about the ground ball gets, we just can't pick up a footy cleanly, but why are we tapping it along and why are we losing our feet as well? A simple nudge, we fall to the ground, and the contest is over. If there was one player I could say, you know what, you're the best on ground for us, it was probably Braden Maynard, 24 disposals. His efforts were there, but there's like 10 Brisbane players that played better than Maynard. So, yeah, Ned Long had 22 disposals, but 18 handballs, and his disposal efficiency was below 70%. So, yeah, yeah. And Dan McStay kicked 4 goals. Is it going to be an overreaction when I say that's the worst 4-goal game I've ever seen from anyone in the AFL? For that, I just, yeah, 4 goals, and yeah, we can talk about taking a good contested mark inside 50 and then dribbling it instead of taking the set shot. But there's a few other mistakes around the ground as well. There was a part in the second quarter where it was about to head out of bounds for a throw in, and Kid Coleman just pushes him to the wayside and keeps it in play. So little things like that. There was another moment in the first quarter. Dan McStay got a down the field free kick, and instead of just bombing inside 50 to a one-out Jamie Elliott, he handballs it to Lipinski, whether it was an errant handball or Lipinski just was confused or whatever. He just couldn't find a target after getting the handball receive. Goes to kick it to Will Hayes, the smallest player you could find, and Bruce Reville chops it off, and Brisbane get a goal from the rebound 50. So, yeah, little things like that stick out like a sore thumb to me. And can't even speak still. Uh, yeah, I'm going to do some takeaway homework and look at the centre clearances and, yeah, who was responsible for that. I can lambast certain players, but we know who's in the firing line. We know who our bottom 6 players are. We know who our bottom 10 players are. Who knows who comes in, who goes out. I know people are saying online, I'm looking forward to the VFL, who's going to step up, sort of thing. And that's the sort of performance we need in the VFL. We just need a win in the VFL. I'm going to bring up the team selected for the VFL as well. Good little segue. Something to look forward to, at least for our long weekend. 15 AFL listed players. Ed Allen is still listed. He'll be replaced. The late in for Nick Dacos, son of Ben Allen, comes in for son of Peter Dacos. But VFL squad, Smith, McInnes. Hopefully McInnes is playing 3/4 or a full game. And Jacob Ryan, Joel Cochran, Ben DeBolfo, and Tao Jath. Sam Swatling, Brady Gray, Ty Prindable, Jai Saxena, Jack Buller, Zach McCarthy. It's a decent looking forward line. Noah Howes, Harvey Harrison, and Taj Woden. Woden playing his first game for Collingwood in the VFL this year. Bryn Teagle in the ruck. Hopefully he's playing in the ruck instead of as a key defender, even though he looked sort of solid last week. Will Parker, Ed Allen, he'll be replaced. Charlie West on the bench, Xavier Ma. I'm watching him like a hawk. Couldn't execute on the scoreboard last week, Xavier Ma. He's not even an AFL listed player, so I'm watching him like a hawk. Forkhead, Angus Anderson, and Luke Waynor, brother of Isaac, on the bench. I think it's Josh Brown replacing Ed Allen, so as I watch this space, Coburg's got Jaden Stevenson and Jack Bytel. I have no idea why I mentioned Jack Bytel last night or even in this video. I think Jaden Stevens is the one I'm looking forward to the most out of Coburg. Jack Bytel, former Collingwood player, but it's Jack Bytel. Who's paying to see Jack Bytel? Sorry, Jack Bytel, if you're watching this, and sorry to Coburg as well. But it's going to be a decent game in the VFL. Coburg's going to come out swinging. They're back on the winners list in the VFL. We can't start 0-2 with the list we have in the VFL. That's just what I'm going to say there. It's not the best review of this sort of game. It was a one-way ticket to an arse whooping at the Gabba. That's the summary of this game. And we are a few steps below the absolute best. So we have a lot to figure out, a lot to look at. A lot of players in the firing line. Nick Dacos hopefully comes back. Scott Pendlebury comes back, hopefully, for gather round. It's raining. My chair's squeaking. I might go for a walk anyway while I edit this video. Not while I edit this video, but as I edit this video and upload it, once it's done, I'll go for a walk, clear my head, and I'll go to Coburg. So I'll leave you guys all to it. Perspective as well. Have a good long weekend, Easter break. Just, yeah, be close with your loved ones if you can. Just reach out as well. Don't let this loss affect you. Don't consume the media as well. There's going to be overreactions in the media. There'll be footy fans giving you shit for it. Just, yeah, don't take the bait. Just look out for each other. That's all I'll say. I hope you guys have a good long Easter break, good long weekend as well. Please be well, try and be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. VFL Report. Up the Pies.